Welcome to Salt Pig. We are two cookbook writers chatting about the ups and downs of actual home kitchen life. Lucas, what are we talking about this week?
Today we have a very, very special guest. This is one of my personal favorite people in food.
Me too.
The Bean King. If you know anything about beans or care about beans at all, it's Steve Sando from Rancho Gordo, the heirloom bean company. He's really done a lot of work over the past 15, 20 years to make beans really cool. And Ellie and I are both huge fans of him, and we cook his beans almost every week, right?
Oh, for sure. Every week, a new kind. They're amazing.
We have a kind of fun conversation about how beans are just this common thread in our meals all week long. And so we learn a lot about home cooking from Steve's perspective and some of the cool things that he does with Rancho Gordo.
Three hearts beating as one, really.
Once again, we're going to talk about bean broth if you're not tired of that yet.
I know you've all been waiting.
Yeah. But it's a really fun conversation, and it was a real honor to have Steve accept our invitation to come chat with us.
Yeah, it was great. Thank you so much, Steve. And you can find new and old episodes wherever you listen to podcasts. And check us out on Substack too at saltpig.substack.com, where you can sign up for our weekly newsletter. All right, let's get started.
Steve, hello. Thank you so much for joining us today here on Salt Pig.
Thank you for having me. I'm a big salt pig myself, so this is perfect.
Oh my God.
In every sense. I have one. I am one. I love them. So
that's amazing. I was thinking about you this weekend because I had some friends over for dinner and I made some beans. I cooked the it's a Caballero beans. Those
Caballero.
Caballero, and they were so good. And they came out perfectly. And because it was a dinner party, I felt the need to sort of zhuzh them up a little bit. And so I was like, oh, do I do a little celery salad to put on top? Or do I make some kind of pesto-y thing or I don't know, something just to make them say dinner
Fancy.
Party?
Yeah.
But then they were so good that I was like, I think I'm just going to serve them as beans. And just in a bowl, and I did that, and they were great. And then as I was preparing for our conversation, I realized you have over 300 recipes on the website. You've published 10 books.
Wow.
Yeah, well, I did quick math.
Yeah.
And then there's 10 cookbooks now, or is there more than that of the Rancho Gordo?
No, I think it's that I've done. It's been 8, but I think we published 2 from other people.
Gosh.
Okay.
The publishing industry, you might not have heard this, but it's horrible. And they aren't out for the authors. So we decided to self-publish a lot. And then there were a couple of books I loved. And we make so much more money, and we don't have to fight with stupid graphic design people about, that looks too Tex-Mex. It's it's from Morocco. What are you talking about?
Tex-Mex.
So we still, I love working with 10 Speed, and we just signed a deal to work with Norton. And I'm really happy. But on the whole, I also love self-publishing because you just are 100% in control.
Get to do everything, yeah.
And you can make more money, too. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, I wanted to ask you, because then in a bunch of your interviews and in conversations that I've had with you, you always, everything kind of comes back to that simple pot of beans. Mm-hmm. And it sounds like the way you cook, too, is you cook off a pound of beans a week, or you kind of just have beans on hand. But are you following recipes very often? Or what is your relationship with the recipe versus the elemental pot of beans?
Well, as far as beans go, the beans are the star, and I just think you have to get out of their way. Caballero is almost like dairy. It is the creamiest bean. And
that's what I was just telling Ellie.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so weird. It's who put cream in it? These are vegan. It's no, they
exactly.
aren't. Yeah. And even though I'm an omnivore, I really insist people do their beans vegan at least once so you can see. Because when you say, cook them simply so the heirloom part of it shines, oh yeah, I just put a ham bone in. It's oh, you just already blew it as far as I'm concerned. And I love ham, and I love, it's really irritating that you've got, because they're hard to grow is the other thing. So I want them to really be the stars of whatever they're doing. And people do need recipes, especially newer people. But my goal, if I ever could make a cultural change, is you just have a side of beans with whatever you're having. And it's just like bread. It's there. You can zhuzh it up if you want. For me, lately, it's pickled shallots. I just can't tell you how happy I am. It's like Gwyneth Paltrow was saying to use arugula instead of dairy. It's what? But I feel like it's almost like bacon in a weird way. When I just had lentils pickled shallots. It's like, oh, it gives me the same joy that the bacon has. And maybe that's what she was saying under pressure. I don't know. But I know I just love them simple. So it's hard when people still want more and more recipes. It's like, oh, just shut up and cook. I mean, come on. I mean, it's not that hard. And if you have them, you have this incredible ingredient. If you want meat, you can roast a chicken breast. If you have a salad, and you're done. You don't need a recipe for that. And if they're all good ingredients, you don't need to do too much more. I mean, that's a great dinner.
Yeah.
I just came up with that. It's a recipe.
Yeah.
Come up with a silly name like dense bean chicken or something. I don't know. Yeah.
I think that's how Ellie and I cook too. My work is developing recipes, but if I'm left to my own devices, it's that pot of beans and a slice of bread and pickled something on top.
Yeah. No, it's a wonderful thing.
That was practically the premise of this podcast, to be honest, because we were going to talk about self-publishing more, and then we changed gears because we were like, we started to, Lucas and I talk about food all the time, obviously, but we were talking about recipes, and we were like, we realized really neither of us use recipes very often. And we were like, it feels like this sort of unspoken thing in the food world to not use recipes because so many people are engaged in the process. That's sort of the language that people use to talk about food these days. So it's fun to talk about the more improvisational and also just like the more simple. I mean, simple cooking is something that's thrown around so much, especially in publishing, but doesn't really exist in cookbooks very often because everyone has to make it sort of trademarkable or, that you can't
worth
trademark
its
a recipe.
Value.
It has to, you have to sort of sing for your supper a little bit. So I love the idea of like keep bringing people back to that simple idea because it's not very fashionable, but it's so appealing.
Yes. I mean, it is really hard. A simple pot of beans is what more do you want? I don't, but they want a recipe. Especially, I would say, a beginning cook, especially, really. Yeah. And they want literal, how much water. It's like, well, how old are your beans? What kind of pot are you using? Is it clay? It's going to absorb some of the water. Is your water hard? I mean, there's so many variants. And I think that's why beans are so great, because you actually have to learn how to become a cook, not just a recipe follower. Tiny bit. You have to work really hard to screw it up, but you actually do have to think the tiniest bit. And not in a hurry. It's not a souffle that's going to fall if you don't do this now. That's why people don't talk about that much. It's like, there's health, they taste good, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, also, you're going to become a better cook and have this ingredient in your refrigerator all week that you can rely on. I find that very romantic.
Me too. It's the only type of meal. If I do any meal prep, it's cooking beans every week. And then I'm like, what do I do with them? And it's this great, it's the same question every week. And it's fun to try to figure out an answer to it that appeals to you, that appeals to your family, that works in the season, that, all those constraints.
Yeah. I think also when you're a new cook, you need that wow factor all the time. And it's exhausting. And it's led us to horrible processed food where we need more thrills, rather than culturally having a cuisine that we can fall back on. I'm going in the wrong direction, but I recently lost a lot of weight. Manjaro, I'm proud, and the gym. But it's the same thing with clothes too. Like you first lose this weight, and you think, "Oh, I need to get all these glossy things and glitter." And then you realize, no, if you have 3 or 4 great trousers, you figure out what kind of shirt you like. You actually don't have to reinvent the wheel every time you get up in the morning. And it's the same thing in the kitchen. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. And sometimes it's fun to put on a suit if you're used to wearing track clothes, but you don't have to if that's not your lifestyle. So you figure out what your lifestyle is, and then you cook and dress accordingly. Well, there's a new book, isn't there?
I think about this all the time because I struggle with fashion because I think I overthink it. And I don't want to spend a bunch of money on clothes. It seems like anybody who dresses well spends a lot of money on their clothing. I know this isn't true, but that's my perception living in New York. And so it's just a little bit overwhelming. And then I realize with food, I'm totally willing to go scour the city for whatever ingredient I need. I'll spend all day. I'll go to the extreme in the service of food. And that's what my fashion friends are willing to do for fashion. So it's just kind of like the lane of interest.
Yeah.
And they probably buy fewer, better clothes rather than the novelty of the moment. which
Right.
and it's an investment in the future, much like your beans are going to be. So, beans in fashion. That's a new podcast we have to
Yeah,
do.
definitely.
Now, the pickled shallots, how do you make
Mhm.
those?
I have a mandolin that I've made peace with after, I've only got four fingers. And I've really, the secret is just never take your eye off that thing because you think, oh, I've got it down. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, that's so funny. I love Lucy. I love this one. So no, you can't do that. You have to watch them. And also don't be cheap. Like I want to get every last bit of the vegetable. Just let it go. It's okay. You can put it in the stock pot later with that rotisserie chicken you're going to make. And then teeniest bit of sugar. I'm now using our pineapple vinegar, which is just this gift from the gods from Veracruz, and a little water. Is that right? Yeah, I think so.
No salt.
Oh, salt too. Yeah. Oh, and I use a little bit of our oregano Indio, which is a Mexican oregano from. I'm saying this to sound like I know what I'm talking about. It's from the Huasteca region of Hidalgo, as opposed to the San Luis Potosí or the Veracruz Huasteca. Yeah. But Mexican oregano, salt, vinegar, shallots.
Okay.
Yeah. And they last they say a week, but it's really longer.
Really forever.
And then the water, I mean, the liquid is great in salads. It's a great thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I use red onions usually.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm always trying to figure out if there's like something I'm doing wrong with my pickles, because sometimes, when you have a really good quick pickle, you can just like snack on it all day. But sometimes I make them like too sweet or too acidic, and I feel like it's getting that balance right. But also the vinegar changes everything, and I'm always changing up the vinegar. So
The vinegar
probably
does
just need
really
to
change
dial
everything.
in on. Yeah.
You're using plenty of water, right, Lucas?
Yeah, I do like 2-to-1.
2-to-1 water to vinegar.
No, 2 vinegar to 1 water.
Oh, interesting. I usually do half and half.
I do too. So
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe that's what I'm
Maybe that has
messing
something to do
up.
with
try it. Yeah. Do a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And honestly, you're bored out of your mind. You just have to eat something. Beans, pickled shallots, and like you said, bread. It's like, what could be better?
I know
Seriously.
nothing. It's so
And you've
good.
got gut stuff going on. I'm kind of getting bored with that, but it's important, I guess, between the vinegar and the beans. And then if you have sourdough bread, you're getting that interesting thing going on. Where everyone's anti-carb, but I just heard, the brain needs carbohydrates. So
Oh, completely.
and the beans have carbs and protein. I mean, it's not that hard.
Fiber is carbs. I feel like
Right.
fiber is supplanting protein right now. And
Yeah. The irritating thing about I've never marketed the beans as either healthy or green. It's when Thomas Keller first came to me in that farmer's market and said, "Oh, what you're doing is important." I thought, "Oh, this is how we're going to do this. It's not going to be morally thing. It's like you're indulging in something." And I think that's helped because, like you said, this week it's fiber, next week it's protein, and then it's going to be gut biome. It's just, I don't find any of that very interesting. But if people say they do, but they're cheap, those people, you really want people who love good food. And if you eat good food, you're probably going to be pretty healthy, I would say. So sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I was going to, I think that's so true. And it's, I don't know, there's something about the sort of elemental nature of beans that I think I think that's why I eat them all the time. I mean, they're healthy and stuff, but they're like this flexible thing. You can eat them hot, you can eat them cold. It's like, I don't know, the benefit of them goes on and on.
kids always like beans, which I feel like that's kind of a tell.
Yeah.
This is in us, and it's a healthy sort of elemental thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, my kids, I have 7-year-old twins, and they're obsessed with beans and have been obsessed with beans since they were little. And it's so satisfying. It's such a great kid food because it has protein, because it has carbs, because you can like have them in your fridge for, days on end. It's kind of the perfect food for them. So.
And when they're learning to eat, they can pick up the bean, right?
Totally.
They make a
pincer
mess,
grasp.
but they can,
Yeah. Those little, it's got to work on that stuff.
And in Mexico, when women are first weaning, they give them bean broth.
Right.
Because it's full of protein, and then the kids have a love of beans forever. It's very healthy. And I use it now with dinner parties. I do a third, I do bean broth, chicken broth, and then I squeeze what's that, half and half, I guess, and then I squeeze a lime, and I have it hot on a tray as if it's a cocktail. And people are always just, what is this? It's a fun thing to do. You can copy me too and take credit. I don't need it. My well is deep.
Because bean broth is like, people really don't know what to do with it.
It drives me crazy when I hear that. It's like, do you
I
ever make
know.
rice? Replace the water with the bean broth, and it gives it
Right.
that, you know, arroz con pollo, like chicken and rice. The rice usually is incredibly fabulous, and it's not necessarily fat. It turns out it's really something, and the something can be bean broth just as easily as chicken stock.
Right, right. That's such a good
So that's
idea
what I
because
would,
I think
yeah.
people usually, turn to like soup or that kind of thing, which is a great use for it too. We just had some friends of mine were listening to one of the podcasts where we talk. I guess we talk about bean broth all the time, but they were like, Ellie, we're listening to Salt Pig and we saved our bean broth, and what should we do with it? And it was a really funny text to get from people, just where it's like, normally you're talking about other things, and I was like, these two worlds are converging.
Well, it's also funny you weren't listening because you don't know what to do with it. If you were listening and paying attention, you would know exactly what to do with the bean broth instead of wasting my time on
Exactly. I'm like, go
text.
back to episode 3, 5, 7, 9.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh, that's funny. And I'll just also say, for soup, in Michoacan, there's sopa tarasca, and it's a third chicken stock, a third bean broth, and a third pureed tomatoes. And then it's because of that, you can kind of make any kind of soup.
Yeah.
And then they would fry tortilla strips on top, and that
Yeah.
is also that bacon love, even though it's not bacon, but it's something substantial. But
Yeah.
you can kind of make up any soup, and if you do a third, and a third, it's a great base for that.
I'm
So
going to think about
full
that.
on bean broth is a little bit too much.
For soup, I think it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
A little too murky.
For beginners, anyway. For me, for the hardcore bean people, bring it on. Yeah.
Oftentimes people, when they talk about beans and trying to sell people on them, they're like, it all comes down to salt. And I've found that to be true, that getting the seasoning right is pretty crucial. But when you have really nice beans and you have really good heirloom beans, can you go overkill with the salt? Like, is that something to be more careful with when you have a more delicately flavored bean?
No, I think the salt, and for me, finishing with olive oil is something I almost always do. And between those two things, we're good. But the question is, if you don't salt early enough, you're going to have salty bean broth and bland beans, which you don't want. So, I mean, that's a bigger issue, I think. And it takes a while for the salt to get into the bean. So you do want to do it before they're finished.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have either? I mean, I'm sure both of you have tried this, but there's this whole thing where you brine beans ahead in like salt water. Have you guys? Do you believe in that? I've never tried
done
it.
I
do that
either.
now.
It's like I don't have trouble cooking beans, so
Right. No, I know. I'm kind of like, why mess with
just an extra
relative
life's hard
success?
already.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we're good.
I mean,
We're
all
gonna
it
try
all
this.
it involves though is just adding a handful of salt when you soak the beans. But you don't really even soak them deep. do
I
you?
don't.
You know, I do now. Isn't that funny?
Oh.
Well, I have friends from high school. If you're my friend, I'm like a lobster, or what do you call it? A barnacle. I can't leave. So I have friends from high school, and we go hiking every Sunday morning at this beautiful Jack London Park nearby. And I will put the beans on to soak while I'm gone, and then when I come back, and it's only, these aren't epic hikes, so it's only a couple hours. And why not? I don't. It just seems like if it does speed it up, but
Yeah.
the worst thing to me is I can't have beans because I forgot to soak them. It's like, you can do it. Just go ahead and do
You
it.
can do it. Are you
That's
doing
hard.
like a quick soak in like boiling water, and then
Well, no,
walking
because that's
away?
cooking.
or cold
That's called
water?
cooking. I think
Yeah, right.
for me, I think you might as well
Little
just
too
start
much
cooking
trouble.
them if you're going to
Yeah,
do that. Yeah. No, I just put them in cold water, and I keep
Yeah.
the soaking water because of Harold McGee in his on food and cooking. He says that you potentially are throwing out whatever minimal digestive issues you're curing by changing the water. You're actually possibly throwing out flavor and nutrients. So
Really?
it's so minimal what you're throwing out that it's not worth doing.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But don't tell your Italian grandmother that, because she'll go crazy. And then your Mexican grandmother's like, why are you even soaking them? So it's everybody. There's many roads lead to Rome, I always say. Yeah. She was so funny. Lucas's confit white beans is, in the Bean Club, we have a couple of recipes that are the recipes, and they're pizza beans from Deb Perlman. And the idea of it was like, yeah, whatever. And then you make them and say, oh, no, this is insane. And the same thing with Lucas's. It's like, well, what? There's sauteed beans? I don't get it. And then it's like, it is like the surefire. Like those are the two recipes I think everybody who wants a recipe should try. So
Really?
congratulations to you. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. That makes me so
No,
happy.
you should be eavesdropping the group sometime. We can't let you in unless you're a member, but are you a member?
I am a member. I've been a member. I was trying to figure out when I
wow.
joined. It was at least 10 years ago. How long has the Bean
Wow.
Club been around?
These are questions I should know, but I don't.
Okay.
I think 2013.
I think I may have joined in like 2015 or 2016.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it really, at some point, it was like, okay, now it's this thing. And we actually, at first, it was sort of like, this is so silly, we'll just do it. And then it became like, oh, now we're having the Facebook group has 9,000 people in it
Oh my
out of
gosh, that's
30,000
amazing.
members, which is that's a real high thing.
Yeah.
And we've got a woman, Monica, here who was really mean. Like, if you quit the Bean Club, you're out of the group. I mean, it's really a benefit for
really?
Bean Club
Really?
people. Yeah. Yeah. Which is maybe not nice, but I don't know. And so it's a third of those people are on the Facebook group, and everybody's, I hate Facebook, but this is the one thing I'm staying for.
Right.
That's exactly me. I need to because I have gone into the Bean Club on Facebook, and it's like the most delightful place on the internet.
It is.
But I
That's
hate
why
Facebook
you don't let
so
you in
much.
this.
Yeah.
You're not a part of it. No, you should Google yourself. I won't tell. But I mean,
Okay.
within the Facebook group, you are very popular.
Oh, wow.
Wow, Lucas.
It's just one of those recipes.
That's
Yeah.
I don't have one, believe me. So it's good.
That's so fun. That's the smoky confit beans.
Yes.
What's
Are
the
there's
smoky
olives in it, right?
There's olives, yeah. I would call
Yes.
it.
And I have an olive tree, and I brine my own olives now.
you?
Well, because everyone here takes them down to the olive press, and it's like, oh, I'm part of the community. No, you're not. You're getting everybody else's. It's like, I don't know what you're doing. And it's like,
Right.
I'm going to. And you can get, well, until recently, you can get olive oil pretty well. I mean, pretty great at a great price. But it's like, no, I'm not cure them. So I do. It's fine.
Does that involve just packing them in salt, or do you make a brine for
No,
them?
I did that one year, and it's like I found they're just really only good for cooking. They're great for cooking, but it really is. No, I soak them. I change the water every day, and then I do a brine. I always have to look at the instructions at the beginning of every season. And
Wow.
where I live, the green ones are better just because by the time they get black, they start getting bugs. But some years, though, actually, this year we didn't have that. But I have 2 trees, and I got 30 pounds of olives.
Wow.
Napa's in an unusual place, so
California's
it's pretty
just the
easy.
best. Yeah.
In that sense, yeah, we've got a couple of problems, but yeah, it's, 2 or
The
1.
olives. Yeah, the food systems.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
So I make tapenade all the time now, and I love anchovies, and I have very squeamish friends. It's like, that is so strong, but it's like, I'm alive. I finally remember I'm alive eating this stuff. Because it's garlicky, anchovy, olives. It's not for everyone, but
That sounds so good. That's right.
it's for the right people, I'd say.
Yeah.
Do you spend a lot of time in the garden still?
Yeah. Well, not enough, I always say. But this year, the last couple of years I have. And the most exciting thing is I have this ayacote bean that's from Oaxaca, and they call them frijolón there. And it's called gris. And I remember seeing it in the market. It's like, it's gunmetal gray. How is this even? I've never seen a bean.
Wow.
It's the most beautiful solid colored bean. So we tried to plant it commercially, and it takes forever. And it really likes, most ayacote or runner beans prefer cool nights. So in the Central Valley, it's not going to happen, but we're doing different experiments. But I planted this bean 2 or 3 years ago, and it reseeded itself. And then this year it just never died. So I actually have long beans on it, and flowers, and old dried beans ready to be harvested all at the same time. And it's a real miracle. It just makes you want to go out and hang out there a lot. And you can eat the flowers, which are delicious, on runner beans. The regular beans are mediocre, but it's pretty great. And they think that ayacote were the first cultivated crop in the Americas. So when ag was happening, it was where they went from hunter-gatherers and foragers to ag is with runner beans.
Wow.
Wow.
I had no
According to
idea.
Sophie Coe in America's First Cuisines. I cited.
Okay.
I didn't make it up.
I'll look
Yeah.
that up.
That's so cool. It always comes back to the bean.
It does, doesn't it? It's just I know it's a book title. I wanted my next book to be called Beans, Who Knew? But I think yours is good too. Yours works too.
That could be your memoir.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
which will be so interesting. Simple beans, simple beans, simple beans, every chapter.
So you make a pot of beans. Do you have different practices with your beans, like different things that you like to taste with your beans in the summer? I guess California climate, you're not dealing with as many extremes as we are on the East Coast, but I feel like so many people think about beans as like winter food. And I know I cook with beans differently in the winter. And now that it's like getting hot out, like I have my like marinated beans that I make every week, but I'm trying to branch out a little bit on what I'm going to be doing in the next couple months. If you guys have any ideas.
I think it's interesting that every hot country has the best soups. So, I mean, I think limiting soup or beans to winter is you're shutting out. I mean, you think like in India or even in Mexico, I mean, soup's just always there, and beans would
People
be the
eat
same
hot
thing.
food all the time. I know it's
They
sort
do,
of silly,
and I just think it is funny that some of the best soups are from super hot countries. So I'd keep that in mind with beans too. But if I have a pot, the first one is just me eating them, and then maybe I'll do something recipe-ish, like Lucas's confit beans, and then the next time I'm making a salad, I have the beans, and I don't make it a bean salad necessarily. So I'm just going to throw some of the beans in there.
Yeah.
And even though I say I don't care about protein and fiber, it's like, well, okay, at least I'm getting some protein in the salad. I can have the salad for dinner.
Yeah.
And then this one, or maybe you make a soup, but at the end, lately, I used to do refried beans, where I take really beautiful rendered lard with a white onion and saute it and then mash the beans. But actually now I just put an immersion blender in, and it's like, this is almost just as good, to be honest. So, and there's something about pureed beans. Like sometimes I'll look at the end of the beans that I've had all week. It's like, I just can't again. I want something new. But once you puree them, it's like, I can't stop eating them.
For sure.
There's just something about it.
Oh yeah.
So that goes on all year, then, is what I would say.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. I make a lot of bean dips. The kids really love. I mean, obviously, like kids love hummus, but really any bean dips they're really into. And the immersion blender really does make it so convenient when you get down to the end, to the dregs.
For sure.
It's the good thing to do.
True refried beans are a thing of beauty, but it doesn't mean you have to do that every time. You can still puree them and have a very great dish. We sell a wood machacadora, which is a masher, and it is the old proper way of making refried beans. Now I think most Mexican cooks would use a ricer in order to do that. But the machacadora is a wood thing, and we sell hundreds of them a year. And the guy who makes is like, why are these gringos buying these things? No one uses these. But we love that traditional, authentic experience. So we sell hundreds of them. It's very fun. And they're also good if you ferment. If you're mashing your cabbage in the beginning, it's a perfect tool to mash it down. So it has multiple uses.
Yeah. It's not a single use thing.
What do you guys occasionally sell the clay pots for the clay pot cooking of beans and other foods? Do you have those in stock now?
Yeah. And that's the same thing too. The woman who makes those, the first year we ordered 30 of them, and she said, why do I do this? Gringos eat at McDonald's. No one's going to buy these. It's so stupid, wasting my time. And to call her in a week and say they're gone, and to break stereotypes on both sides of the border is really fun. And we saw hundreds of them.
And talk about another sacred place on the internet, the Clay Pot Cooking Club on Facebook. It's just the best people, and people just ecstatic about their cooking experiments, and it's great.
Oh, that's cool.
I have never tried, though. I don't have a clay pot. I want to try that out. Yeah.
We could fix that. Well, it's so sad. It's like I have one or two too many clay pots. Like,
that's a good problem to have.
I probably have like 50 clay pots down in my basement I have like a cooking store in my basement. And I love that. But I just discovered copper pots, which many years ago, someone gave me a really expensive French Williams Sonoma copper pot. I made something in it, and all the tin melted immediately. And I thought it was because I had made something with tomatillos. But I think now I've learned is you can't preheat them because it melts the tin. So you always have to have something in there. And even if it's just butter, because the moisture from the butter will help keep the temperature at a decent thing. So I think I must have, because the first time I used it, I thought, I hate copper. These are stupid. And then
gosh,
there was an antique store here in Napa, and I bought 3 just because they were a good price. And it's like, I love these things. And then now, of course, I'm gone down. I have a Dobier. I have a cauldron. I have, it's insane. I have a lot of them. And then there's a guy in Sacramento who retins because the tinning lasts, I think, for about 10 to 15 years normally with the constant use. And you have to have it retinned, which is a pain. And this is the joy of owning a business like this. I said, why don't you use Rancho Gordo as your dropping off and pickup place? So every 3 weeks he comes and picks up and brings back the old ones. And it's just because I don't want to drive to Sacramento. But it also brings out the right customer and the right kind of person who could be your friend. Because if you think this insane way of cooking is worth it, I want to know you.
Yeah.
So it's been very fun. And
That's
so
a real win-win.
I'm not giving up clay, but yeah, it's funny, these copper pots. And then my friend Sarah Scott, who's a chef who used to work at Mondavi, she really is one of those people that defined wine country cooking, whatever that is. But she told me that Taste of Things, that movie, it's a French movie. It's all about copper pot cooking. It's just not, it's more about more, but it's one of the most fun. The first 20 minutes are the symphony with no dialogue of them cooking. And you guys would love it, I think.
Oh my gosh.
And I saw it.
Looking it
I
up.
think,
Are there copper cooking traditions in like Central and Southern America, or is it this primarily a European Western thing?
yeah, I think mostly, except for in Mexico, they have a thing called a cazo, which is a pot that has, it looks like a jam pot. And that's the proper way to make carnitas. You should do a copper pot and also nopales. So if you're cooking cactus paddles, the bavo, the stickiness, it's like a snail, really, in a copper pot or copper wire in a garden.
Wow, interesting.
It reacts to that. So we're actually looking. I'm going to be going in a couple of weeks looking to import small copper cazos for making nopales because the big one, it's so big I tend not to do it. So I think if I had little individual ones, and I found them, so I think we might be bringing those up.
Oh my gosh.
as
That's
well.
so cool.
It's fun to
so
be me
cool.
sometimes.
Do you go down? Do you go out on like work travel trips
Yes,
annually, a couple times a year? Or is it still
2
a
to
big
3
time?
times on a good year. This year I've been doing a lot of domestic stuff for some reason. Like I went to New York where I saw you guys. Now, that was very fun. We did the superiority burger dinner, and it sold out in 3 minutes, they said.
Oh my gosh.
I had my finger hovering over the purchase button, waiting for that thing to be live. I was
Do
in
you know
those
how
first few
weird this
minutes.
is? I was so lonely at the beginning of the farmer's market. No one wanted beans. Nobody. It's like, ugh. I always tell this story, but it's true. They'd think, "Oh, I love nuts. Ew, beans." They just had no interest. And now to sell out in 3 minutes is so wild. And then we did a series of dinners at Farm to People in Brooklyn, and those sold out in a couple of hours. They were huge rooms. So and we did the same thing I went to Asheville earlier, and there's a great Spanish restaurant called Curate, and that sold out. And they asked us to do another night. So we did.
What do you make of that? That you couldn't have predicted this kind of success with beans?
You know, they say the unexamined life is not worth living, but that's exactly what I have. I'm just doing it. I don't reflect a whole lot. I do think the little bit I would say is you have to follow your passions. I think it makes you a much more interesting person. And there's this weird pressure to be part of the mainstream. And as a young gay man, I thought, no, you are not invited to this party for sure. But what else is there? And it's like, oh my God, it's so much more interesting. So I'm not really into superhero movies. I've never seen one. The one I saw, I hated. And it's like, but there's actually a whole world of movies, it turns out, about superheroes. So really, I think if you follow your passions, eventually you find your tribe and you actually have a much more interesting life than getting upset because Marvel wasn't represented by the studio the way you believe. I just find that so boring. And whereas, oh my God, Ella Fitzgerald saying this, it's like, and discovering those things is so much more interesting to me. And everyone should do what they want. But I think culturally we're in a weird place, and there's still a lot out there. So even though the internet has given us access to everything, I think it is pushing us towards this kind of banal, boring center.
Yes.
Except for us. We're superior. No, but it's find your tribe. That's the secret, I think. And if I had gone to a bank and said, "Oh, I want to start an heirloom bean business," they would have laughed me out of the. So that's the secret. If they won't invite you to their party, start your own, and eventually they're going to come around. If it's a good one,
Yeah.
and if
Or
it's
maybe
not,
they
you've had a
won't,
better time.
but some
Yeah,
other people will. Yeah.
yeah, and the right people, or
Right.
not the right people. But that sounds judgy. Which God knows I'm not judgmental. No, but
Us neither. Yeah.
We don't.
no, but your people, and it's
Yeah.
important to find them. And also, I think being an example is better than being preachy. Like the tendency is like, you should do this because of this, this, and this, and this. But it's like, oh, look, he's doing that. And oh, he's eating well. And I find that much more interesting.
Ellie and I really feel that. I feel like in the food space, at least my corner of it, it's constantly, it's like, especially dealing with publishers and this idea of like comparative titles where they want to, see what types of books you can compare yours to so as to predict, like the sales potential for it. And it's always like everything feels a little bit derivative of other stuff,
Yeah.
And they have no imaginations, really. But there's a lot of money on the line. But I mean, I'm really happy now, but sometimes there's not a lot of talent on the line. So people who don't necessarily have a ton of talent are making big decisions. And I find that frustrating.
Yeah.
So,
Especially when you're talking about creative things. I mean, you really want to have some.
Yes, but at the same time, rails are good. Like having these boundaries, because too much freedom is also hard when you're writing a book. Like I can write about anything. It's like, oh, that's not good. It's nice to have a great editor who you trust and an agent who will fight for you and a house
a good team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's hard. That's kind of rare, but it's like one of those usually is screwed up. In that chain.
Does the Rancho Gordo work feel creative still?
The luxury of getting bigger is you can fire yourself for the bad stuff or what I can, but there's still some. So no, it is very creative. I mean, I literally write the newsletters. I sit in this program called Omnisend and start to write. I don't even do it in Word. And then Julia, who's my co-author and our general manager here, will edit it, which is, it's probably not always the best writing, but it definitely is. This is what's on my mind. And I try and keep it more neutral than I wrote. But sometimes that's hard because it's a very personal company in that sense.
Yeah.
But no, it's very creative. And then coming up with the recipe part, I've happily more and more I'm giving up because I don't care. So it's hard to. And if I do write a recipe, it's because I do care. So that part's boring. I think I have a clear aesthetic, but we now have a man who is Howie, he started doing he started in the warehouse and he's doing social media, and now he's an incredible photographer who works with a stylist, and everybody feels like they're learning from each other. No, it feels actually more creative now than it used to because I don't have to. I have a wonderful bookkeeper and an accountant. But don't tell them, but I don't care. We bouncing checks? Great. Okay. Let's just keep going then.
That's cool. That's such an
it's a luxury. I appreciate it. Which also, I think when you're younger, I always say if I had success too much early, I wouldn't have appreciated it. And I think you get it later, because I started Rancho Gordo when I was 40. You get lightning in a bottle. It's like, okay, this isn't going to happen again. So you have to really enjoy it and then make the most of it.
Yeah, throw yourself into it.
And so far, knock wood, it hasn't gone away. So I'm totally appreciative.
My brother-in-law gives my husband and I like a gift box from Rancho Gordo every year, and it's literally like my favorite present every year. It's so fun too. It's so thoughtful, and it's always.
And does he pick out the beans for you?
He gets one of the I order my own private stash, but it's like the thought that someone's like, well, Ellie really likes beans, so I'm going to get her this selection of beans is so sweet. It's just like, it's very thoughtful. And it reminds me of what you're saying in terms of like, there's something about finding the people who really sort of understand your language. So it's nice to have that language be beans.
Sure. Yeah. Instead of ultimate fighting championships.
Yeah, exactly.
Or something like
wouldn't
that.
appeal. Yeah.
No. Beans are nicer. Yeah.
So we always close out each episode by discussing what our dinner plans are each night. Do you know what you're having for dinner tonight? I know it's early there right now, but
a little bit. Yeah.
And often we're always like, we ask each other this question and we know the question's coming and we're still like,
It's a good
leftovers?
question.
Yeah.
That's, with this Manjaro, that is the one thing that I will say is better is you have breakfast, what's for lunch? I mean, you are always, they call it food noise, and it
Yeah.
really is amazing how it's like, oh, I hadn't even thought about it. I don't even know what I'm going to do. It's kind of a joy. Like it takes certain pressure off, but there's a lot of pleasure in planning what's going to be happening. So it's Friday as we're recording this, and I have to go to the grocery store, and I'm going to go to our favorite Costco here in Napa, which I'll tell you, it's such an easy, it's like going to the grocery store. It's not that hard here.
Yeah.
It's not a great Costco because there's one over in Novato that has a cheese section that if I were a cheesemonger, I'd be really worried. Like these guys have it down, but for some reason our Napa one has only the basics, but I need to go to Costco. So I will get a rotisserie chicken. I have beautiful Pardina lentils, which is a Spanish lentil that we found the grower, and he goes, no one wants them here. They're from, we export 100% to Spain. It's like, oh, no, we want these. So we've had a huge success with these. They're kind of nutty brown lentils. And I'm someone who grew up hating lentils because my mother would get them at the food co-op, and they were probably years and years old. And I thought, that's for hippie food. I don't like lentils at all. But it turns out I was totally wrong. So I have the lentils. I'll probably get one of the rotisserie chickens, which aren't great, but it's Friday night and I've worked all week. It seems fine.
Sometimes it really hits.
I find their salad mixes are not great, and I'm sure this is regional. I go to the farmer's market. I'll be going to the farmer's market tomorrow morning anyway. So, but I do love those clamshells of arugula, which I've discovered they're almost too much because right now I'm living alone, but you can actually put them into cooked food. Like just as it's going, you put it in the beans, and it's like, oh, I have beans and greens. It's not great, but it's fine. But arugula and the pickled shallots I have left over, I think I'll do that and call that a salad. And then I think the bread there is pretty sad for our one. It's not great. And someone said, oh, you should get the pita. And it's like, no, it's not good either. For me, at least our Napa one, it doesn't. So I'll save the bread for tomorrow. I've got a great baker in the Napa Farmers Market. It's kind of boring, but I will be really happy because I'll have socks I get to go through and watch as I'm eating this or whatever I get at Costco. So, but it is, honestly, it's not, ours is you're in and out and it's not a big deal.
I think, Ellie, this is a New York thing. It's not.
It's a New York thing.
Other Costco's are not like this.
Yeah, I think that's true. Now we know.
Ours at Christmas has Malden salt, like big tubs of Malden salt.
They have that here too. I love that.
Love those.
It's amazing. So they're very smart. And we actually went to them about 8 years ago, and we all agreed it was too soon. I wasn't the right customer for them. But they do a lot of green stuff that they don't advertise, like their own coffee is green or fair trade. It's a very interesting corporation.
Totally.
But horrible logos. I think Kirkland logo is bad, and I think the Costco logo is horrific. So,
but
when I read
so
the world,
it's
I would
good.
go in
People are like wearing them. It's now become fashion.
Yeah, I can't do it. But I'm happy for them. It's good for them. So what are you guys cooking?
My mother-in-law's visiting, so I think we were going to have, we were going to grill some burgers. We're going to keep it really simple. It's a gorgeous day here in New York, so we were like, we just wanted to do something where we could all sit outside, grilling out burgers, and maybe I'll like roast some potatoes or something. Let's keep it really simple. Lucas knows that we have a lot of lettuce in our garden now, so we'll probably have a salad. But it's going to be that basic. Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah. Lucas, what are you doing?
And, well, I also have my dad, my stepmom, and my stepbrother and his wife are here. So we're going to do something upstairs on the roof where there's a grill.
Oh, fun.
Because as Ellie was saying, we have like finally some nice like even weather. It's not it's hot, but not gusty and not too hot. And so I think we might grill some chicken and grill some, I don't know, I'm going to see what the vegetables look like. I have to go to the farmer's market or to the grocery store as well.
Yeah.
But it'll be kind of an early evening dinner.
Are they all staying with you?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's another part about being a grown up too. Like you get to a certain age, it's like, I'll stay in a hotel. It's fine. I don't need to stay with you.
Well, we kind of have space. We have an extra bedroom, so that's always
nice. Yeah. But that's not a lot of people though. That's more than one bedroom, it sounds like.
That's true. That's true. But
That's
it'll
their
be
problem,
fun.
though.
As long as it's temporary.
Yeah. No, it's fun to have a crazy house.
Yeah. But
I miss
just
that.
eating outside is so fun.
Yeah.
You talked about dessert at the dinner party as you
Oh,
start
yeah.
with the dessert. I never do dessert because if someone says, "Oh, I'll bring it," I just like dessert. No, I'm not going to do that. Isn't that
Really?
funny?
I think I just love baking, so I'm always happy.
Yeah.
I have a huge sweet tooth.
And you're a very good baker. Like you can really throw down some
Thank you,
stuff.
Ellie.
I have those Japanese pock-pocks, I think they're called, the pretzels with chocolate dipped.
Yeah.
I just keep them there, and then I have
So
coffee
fun.
and Amari, and then here, eat that. That's your dessert.
We've started buying like boxes of ice cream novelties to keep in the freezer, and I have to say, everybody goes nuts for them. If you're like, who wants a Klondike bar?
Yeah,
Everyone's like, yes, please.
Or even
See,
like the Krasdale brand ice cream sandwiches, like the grocery store.
Any of them.
Brand, those,
Yeah.
I get excited about those.
Yeah.
But I couldn't keep them in my freezer because Steve, come eat me. And like, no, there's one left. There's 6 left. There's one left. And I'm like, I couldn't do it. So you when you come to dinner, you can bring dessert. That would be great.
Oh, happily.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, even if it's ice cream bars or a famous
Yeah.
creation, I would love that.
Me
Well,
too.
thank you so much, Steve. This has been so fun.
Steve,
It has,
means
yeah.
so much to us. Thank you so much for joining us. It was just awesome.
Enjoy your dinner tonight. Enjoy your Costco run.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
thanks.
not too hectic.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye. Well, that was amazing. Thank you so much, Steve, for joining us. It was such a special episode, and I know all of our listeners love beans too, so hopefully you guys enjoyed it as much as we did.
Oh, so fun. So cool.
And I'm definitely, that tip about cooking rice with bean broth, I was acting like that was just the status quo, but I've never done that. So
I've never
I'm gonna
done that
start
either.
doing that. Yeah.
I'm going to do that as well. And I am going to also start cooking in the soaking water. I didn't realize you were wasting away all the nutrients. And so, yeah, I'm going to start cooking in the soaking water now.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
And one last thing, if you have enjoyed this episode or any of our episodes and you have not yet, we would really appreciate you leaving a rating or a review for our podcasts on whatever listening platform you use. It just really helps to sort of raise the profile and help our podcast find new listeners.
We so appreciate it. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you guys.
Thank you so much. Okay, until next time.
See you soon. Bye.